Hello everyone. Thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Bria and this is my first YouTube video. I've always been kind of scared to do this and now I'm just going full force into it. So a little bit about me is, and like what this channel is going to be about in general. I'm going to be a first-year optometry student in a few short months at Indiana University School of Optometry. Go Hoosiers. And I will also be posting like mental health content, everything like that, and then like lifestyle things, but majority like documenting my journey through optometry school and giving people like advice if they want it, and kind of just like talking about my kind of unique journey, why I chose optometry. When I was in the 5th grade, I had something called a Big 5 project. And it's where we had to choose one of the 5 senses and then make a project about it and then write an essay about it. I chose sight as my Big 5 sense. And I made a poster like with optical illusions and cataracts and everything like that right here. Made a poster, and then I also made a clay model of the eye, which is kind of wild to think about. I was 10 years old when I made that, and it was like the first project where I felt like really proud of myself, and it was like my first like really big poster board project, I think. And so it's kind of like really weird to now be going to optometry school. Growing up, I was surrounded by healthcare because my dad is a nurse, but I knew that I didn't want to touch people. I would hear all these crazy stories from my dad in the hospital, and I was just like, that sounds disgusting. I'm good. I was like, I don't want to touch people, and I definitely don't want to be giving like life or death news. I don't want to be opening people up. Surgery was off the table for me. I'm not squeamish, but it's just not something that like sets my heart on fire. I really wanted to interact with patients. I always tell people I'm an extroverted extrovert, like the most extroverted you could ever get. I love patient care and I love people, and being a surgeon, you know, like it doesn't meet those needs. So I started, and also I just like, I'm so sensitive too. I would classify myself as a highly sensitive person. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it, or I'll put like definition right here from like Google or something. So you can read that. You can pause to see. I just knew I would just not be good in those types of situations. So in high school, when you start really seriously considering what career do I want to do, first tried out pharmacy, and I was not excited. I was not excited. There was no patient care interaction whatsoever. I was just kind of I volunteered in a hospital pharmacy my summer going to my junior year of high school. And it just wasn't what I wanted. I was just labeling saline bags, and the pharmacists actually seemed to like really, really dislike their jobs. So that was a red flag for me. No shame out there to pharmacists. I'm sure you guys are going to be great and you guys are going to have amazing, fulfilling careers. But for me personally, it just was not the right fit. I don't know how I came across optometry. I think I probably found it in like a long list of medical careers, and then decided to email every single optometry office in my area and ask for an internship, because that is just how Bria is. That is just how I am. It's how my parents raised me to like, if you want something, you go get it. One office gave me a chance, and they let me intern over the summer and learn about vision therapy and all the ins and outs of the office. And then come August, so like the first month of my senior year of high school, they hired me on as a vision therapist. So I worked as a vision therapist for a year and a half there. I left that job for different reasons, but then got into a second office my spring semester of my sophomore year of college. And I worked for them for almost 2 years through COVID, everything. And that's when I was doing vision therapy, and I was also teching. They taught me how to tech and do everything like that. So I worked there for 2 years. Then there was a point my junior year of college, I just was like, do I want to do optometry? like, I'm not sure. I was thinking about career and research potentially, and like, would that be better suited for me? I was scared that like optometry was going to be too repetitive and I would get bored on a daily basis, because I had shadowed obviously previously to that point, but I didn't really know, I feel like, what an optometrist's daily life was. Even though I was working with them, I still didn't get it. Like, I wasn't in the exam room with them. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try out research. I got into a research program and was like, okay, cool. This is good. I like it, kinda, and then I decided to, after I graduated from college in 2022, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to this research program across the country. I drove 10 hours across the country with all my stuff, and I moved to a new city and was in this research program. And then I was in a neuroscience lab studying the impacts of opioid usage on maternal behavior. And it didn't take long for me to realize that research just was not for me. Again, it's that patient care aspect that was so important to me, and interacting with people. When you're doing basic bench research, you are not interacting with people. You are only interacting with your lab members, which is fine. But I just was so sad. I was so down every day, and I just it just didn't feel right. I actually did get invited to the neuroscience graduate program at Ohio State University to interview with them, and I literally turned it down. I was like, I don't want to do this. So I left the program, and I taught myself UI design after that. So beginning of 2023, I started this course with Design Lab, and I taught myself UI design and with the course as well. And then I had 3 major web design clients last year, did website design, really got like my creative energy out, and was still trying to figure out my life. Like, do I still want to go to optometry school? I now have these UI design skills. I could use these too and go into industry and like become a UI designer. I really did consider that like heavily. And then I had a really rough breakup in 2023. And after that, I was just looking for a job so that I could become financially stable. And I decided to apply for an optometrist office here, and they accepted me. So I started working in an optometrist office again in summer of 2023, and that reignited my passion for optometry as a career. I was scribing in the office as well as performing as an apprentice optician. So I was adjusting glasses, I was submitting eye insurance, like VSP and IMED, and I was checking patients out. I was doing prior authorizations. I was, I learned about lenses. I learned about everything. So at this point in my optometry journey, I know private practice, at least from top to bottom. I've been a tech, I've been a vision therapist, I've now scribed in the exam room, and now I've done optical as well. So that was like a real key indicator that through now, at that point in 2023, it was 6 years into my journey. So I started working in offices in 2017, and then it was 2023 when I was like, okay, I for sure want to be in this industry. And it always just comes back to eyes. Even when I was doing research in the neuroscience lab, I was like starting to ask my PI, is there any vision labs that I can like go into? Because I was originally thinking, okay, maybe immunology or microbiology. And then I got into neuroscience, and I kept going back to the eyeball. Like, I just love eyes for whatever reason. I don't know why. I love looking at retina images. I love ocular disease. And I also love pediatrics. I also, this past year, worked throughout my 2 gap years. So if you guys notice, I graduated undergrad in 2022, and it is now February 2024. And throughout those 2 years, I've had lots of jobs. I worked as a UI designer doing web design. And then I've also worked 2 bartending jobs. I went to bartending school as well, which was kind of wild. And then I also nannied too. And that was like 2 of my 2 top careers I really wanted to try. And they just kind of fell into my lap, which is amazing. And through one of my bartending jobs, I now work for a financial firm, and I do branding, marketing, and UI design for them. So that's essentially what happened this past year, the past years. I went working into that optometrist office, and I was like, this is great. I love this. I'm going to apply to optometry school. I actually last minute applied. I was originally going to apply next year and give myself more time, but I was like, I don't know. Let me just apply this year, see what happens. And thank God I did, because I ended up getting in. So yeah, hopefully I explained that well and that all made sense. I essentially chose optometry because I didn't have to touch people, didn't have to give life or death news. And then also it had lots of patient care interactions. It's such a, like a, I don't know, even being a tech, like it was just something that I was so into. And I can't wait I loved working with kids as a vision therapist. And so I am interested in seeing like, eventually, like, what do I end up specializing in? And I feel like I'm primarily going to work with kids. I feel like peds is like where I want to go, in conjunction with either ocular disease or specialty contact lenses like ortho-K or something like that. So that's where I'm at right now. That's essentially my entire optometry journey. I think that's where I'm going to leave this. And I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit more. And if you have any video ideas, then I would love to hear them. I'm probably going to try and post every other week so I can get into a rhythm before optometry school starts. So I will be discussing other things besides optometry too. I'll discuss like a little bit about my personal life, mostly with my health and my mental health. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you feel compelled to, subscribe to see more of my face. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.